Donald Trump gave an interview to Fox News host Steve Hilton after that 90-minute long CPAC speech on Sunday evening. And it was actually interesting because Steve Hilton did attempt to confront Donald Trump about the riots. Now, if you watched Trump's CPAC speech, even though it was 90 minutes long and it covered a lot of topics, cancel culture, how Trump really won the election, how Trump is so popular, all this stuff, there wasn't a single word about the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol that Donald Trump incited during Trump's 90-minute CPAC speech. So let's look at some clips here from this interview with Steve Hilton. Here is Hilton asking Donald Trump about the reports that he was enjoying watching the riots on TV on January 6th. And Trump sort of weirdly tries to deny that he was watching it, but in so doing, he admits he was watching it exactly as was reported. Take a listen to this.
That when that was unfolding, you were watching it and actually you liked what you were seeing because you felt that it was your people fighting for you. Do you get how bad it was? And is there anything looking back on it now that you would have done differently that day?
Well, that's incorrect reporting. First of all, I wasn't watching TV. I turned it on later on when I heard about it and did a lot of moves.
So if you listen to what Donald Trump said, I wasn't watching TV. I turned it on when I heard about it. Well, yeah, Trump heard about it while the riots were going on. That's when he turned it on. It's a very strange kind of like denial where he's actually saying the reports are correct. And then Trump says he, quote, did a lot of moves. I don't even know what that means. But this answer is so silly. It's so obviously a lie. Clearly, Donald Trump watched the riots on TV, just like everybody at the White House was watching them. It would be crazy if Trump wasn't watching the riots. Like, what do we think Trump was doing? We're to believe that Trump went to the rally at which he incited the riots, went to the White House. Everybody at the White House, every news station is covering the riots, tweeting about the riots, et cetera, et cetera. Mike Pence is being evacuated. And Trump is like, what? What is Trump doing? What would he possibly even be doing other than following what it is that's going on? So, of course, Trump was watching and he's lying. Trump later in the same segment went on to try to blame Nancy Pelosi for the riots somehow. But before doing that, Donald Trump falsely claims that hundreds of thousands of people were at his January 6th rally watching him speak.
No, but we actually, I requested, I said, look, this rally is going to be bigger than anyone thinks, because everybody I see said, oh, we're going to be at the rally, we're going to be at the rally. And it was, I think, the largest crowd that I've ever spoken before. And I've spoken very big crowds, hundreds of thousands of people and more than that.
Hundreds of thousands of people and more than that. He still can't stop lying about the same things that he's been lying about for years. He's learned nothing. And then, okay, now on to blaming Nancy Pelosi.
They took that number. From what I understand, they gave it to the people at the Capitol, which is controlled by Pelosi. And I heard they rejected it because they didn't think it looked good. So, that was a big mistake.
I just want to know how you feel about it now. Do you just get how bad it was? I think people want to hear you say that.
No, I hate to see it. I think it's terrible. I hate to see it. I will tell you that it's very interesting. However, when you see Washington burning and when you see Seattle burning and Portland burning and all these other places burning with Antifa and the radical left, nothing seems to happen. Nobody seems to be bothered by that.
So Trump shifting to Antifa. Of course, the January 6th riots happened when Trump was president. So did all of those other things that Donald Trump mentioned there. Trump then is asked, are you happier without Twitter? And Trump says, well, I do have a lot of free time now because I don't have to worry about avoiding spelling and grammar mistakes in my tweets. And he also mentions that it's not just that he's happier without Twitter. His poll numbers are higher than they've ever been for him or anyone else, I guess he's saying here. You interpret if you can.
Another report, which may or may not be true, that actually since you've been stopped from using Twitter, you're actually happier to be off Twitter. And I'm just wondering whether the impact of your speech today not being on Twitter, there's a sort of Trump 2.0 where there's kind of less is more strategy that actually might be something you want to see.
Well, it could be. I mean, I have much more time. I can now speak to you a little bit, and I can do things that, frankly, when you're tweeting, it does take up time, and you want to make it perfect, because if you make a spelling mistake or you put a comma in the wrong location, they go wild. He doesn't know this, or he doesn't. So, you want to make it good. You want to make it. But I will tell you, I do have much more time. My poll numbers are high. I think they're the highest they've ever been. It's very interesting. I had, when I was tweeting, and I know you about tweeting too, but I'm telling you, it's sort of very cool. I had a lot of people saying, I love him, we love our president, but I wish he wouldn't tweet. It's true.
So that is really something else. Another strange interview. My honest assessment after hearing this interview and also watching the Sunday CPAC speech is that Trump seems to be kind of going through the motions. But he seems very deflated in reality, sort of desperate to have relevance and political capital again. He wants to be kingmaker for 2022. That's why he's announced that he's now fundraising, and you can donate to him, to his PAC, to help people get elected or reelected in 2022. And it seems as though how well that goes will be a big factor as to whether he runs in 2024. I have no idea whether he will or won't run in 2024. But increasingly seeming deflated and like he's not even really sure that he wants to stay in politics. We'll see what ultimately happens, and I don't know if we're going to see too many more upcoming interviews from Donald Trump. One of our sponsors is Sussman and Hahn. Sussman and Hahn has everything you need when it comes to face masks and other supplies to stay safe during COVID-19. And Sussman and Hahn is the company that I've personally been going to for face masks and other PPE because I trust the products that they sell. And that's actually why we reached out to them about becoming a sponsor, because their prices are reasonable, ordering is simple, everything ships within 24 hours, and they just have high quality products for this global 100-year pandemic. They've got surgical masks, KN95 masks, N95 masks, other useful things like infrared thermometers, face shields, sanitizers. Sussman and Hahn is also an awesome company because they've donated over 65,000 masks so far to healthcare institutions. Shipping is free on orders over $150. You can go to their website by going to davidpakman.com/mask. The link is right underneath this video, and they'll give you 20% off when you use the coupon code DAVID.